ETS Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? Jets Ward back with you with another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so happy to be back with you guys again. I got something special for you guys in this episode of the Jets Ward. But first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I always love having you guys here. And if you are new here, welcome. No matter if you're a Jets fan or a fan of another team or just a casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here in the Jets Ward. It is a safe space for you. But, guys, it is an exciting time in the NFL. So many moves in free agency have still been happening. Pro days are going on for these young rookies. Ones that are expected to go earlier in the draft, even ones that are showing out that are expected to go later in the draft. And there are rumors spreading. And guys, it's even more exciting because the NFL draft is only a couple weeks away. Man, I'm so excited. I'm going to be going live for the round one of the NFL draft. Hope you guys join me on that. It's going to be an exciting time. Would love to hear your opinions on that as well. But getting into what I want to talk to you guys about today. Now, other Jets fans have brought this up in videos already. Matt O'Leary, to name one, has talked about a tight end that the Jets could possibly go after because he has been made available by the Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Goedert. There's another tight end who has been being brought up thanks to another Jets site, Jets X Factor. They do a great job. Both Matt O'Leary and Jet X Factor do an amazing job. So make sure you subscribe to their channels and support them. They do awesome work. But in Jets X Factor's article that they wrote today, they talked about Kyle Pitts, who's only 24 years old, being brought up in trade rumors as well. And another tight end that I wanted to bring up to you guys today is Michael Mayer, backup tight end in Las Vegas, only 23. Now, why am I talking about these tight ends? Well, what is one of the biggest needs that the Jets have on their team? Tight end. Our number one tight end on our team right now, if you look at the roster, is Jeremy Ruckert. And to be fair, a lot of Jets fans love Jeremy Ruckert. He grew up a Jets fan, but he has not even delivered at all. Showed some flashes, but a lot of dropped passes, a lot of missed blocks. It hasn't been the career that he has wanted. And our backup, Stone Smart, another young tight end who has shown flashes, but still a big unknown. And he's not even a blocker. He's more of a big slot. Now, why do I bring up Pitts, Myers, and Dallas Goedert? Because these could be three awesome options for the Jets. And I'm going to go over each one and what they could bring to the table for the Jets. Now, the first one that I want to bring up, and I'm going to bring them up in order of least, which ones I would want to go for least, and then my number one option. Okay? I think that's fair. Now, the one on the bottom of my list that I would want, and this doesn't mean that I think they stink or anything like that. Absolutely not. It just means that who I would prefer on the Jets, especially with the new regime that we have and the new offensive system that we're going to have. Number 3 on my list, and a lot of people I don't think are going to like this, is Dallas Goedert. Now, why do I say he's on the bottom of my list? Well, he is 30 years old. He's older than what a lot of our players who have signed with the Jets are. And AG has said that they made it a point to go younger on this team, which, going with Dallas Goedert, you're giving up what the Eagles want, a 4th-round pick. I don't know if they get that for him, but they've made it obvious that they're not going to keep him and that he's on the trade block. Now, what would it cost? Eagles want a 4th-round pick. Would it cost that? I don't know. The Jets have a 4th-round pick this year that they could give up for him, but I don't think I'd be very happy with that, especially with how loaded this draft class is in tight ends. But what are the benefits that he brings? Well, a lot of years of experience, is a solid pass catcher and a solid blocker, which we really like what our tight ends could do. Especially if you look at the Detroit Lions offense, we're going to be running a more run-heavy scheme, and they love to use their tight ends to block. Look at Laporta. He was awesome in that offense last year. Now, Goedert could be that, and I think he could be a solid veteran presence in that locker room as well. But he's on the older side. Didn't have the best year last year. He does have injury concerns as well, which is an issue, especially when you're coming to the Jets, and injuries tend to follow people to the Jets for some reason. But Dallas Goedert could be a solid option. I don't think the round 4 price tag is reasonable, in my opinion. I think a 5th round or a 6th round, I think he's going to go for. But he's the one option that I think the Jets could go for, but he's on the bottom of the list for me. The next one is Kyle Pitts. Now, you're probably thinking, Ryan, you just got stone smart. Kyle Pitts does the same exact things as him. Yes, Kyle Pitts isn't a blocker. He is a bigger slot, but the guy is athletic as heck. And he is a solid receiver. Now, he was a number 4 overall pick by the Atlanta Falcons, and he by no means has lived up to that contract and lived up to the expectations of being a first round pick, especially in top 5 pick. Absolutely has not lived up to those expectations. But it is rumored that the Falcons are shopping him, and I think a change of scenery could be beneficial for him. Now, why do I think he fits with the Jets? Well, the New York Jets are going to be running more of a run power scheme, which, okay, he doesn't block, but you put him as a bigger slot, he is a matchup nightmare, especially when you have Garrett Wilson out there. You still have Lazard, who I don't think is going to end up on this team. I think the Jets end up drafting another receiver, either in the 2nd or 3rd round, and I think he could be a number 2 good complement for Garrett Wilson, especially putting him in the slot and then drafting like a Jaden Higgins or a Nick Nash later in the draft, or just somebody like that, an Emeka Egbuka, who I really love, who in a lot of drafts I've seen have been falling to the 2nd round, which I have no idea why. The kid, in my opinion, is the best receiver in the draft, but I digress. Kyle Pitts is a matchup nightmare. He doesn't block, which is a big concern if you want him to be the number 1 tight end in our offense. But the benefit is, this draft class is also deep when it comes to tight end. You could take a Gunnar Helm later in the draft. You could take a Ferguson later in the draft. You could take a Jackson Hawes later in the draft, who is known specifically for his blocking. So there are ways to maneuver around the non-blocking Kyle Pitts and getting a blocking tight end to help support this offense, because I think it's going to be high explosive. Running plays, Breece Hall I think is going to have a monster year. Braylon Allen I think is going to be a beast behind that offensive line as well. And I think Garrett Wilson's going to go off with Justin Fields back there as well. But Kyle Pitts is my 2nd option. And I've been saying this for a long time. My number 1 option, the person I would love to try to trade for, is Michael Mayer. He is 23 years old, still really young, still a ton of upside, solid receiver, and he is a solid blocker as well. Somebody who reminds me of like a lower end Sam Laporta. Somebody who can do it all. He's been with the Raiders, and they just have not given him, really, in my opinion, opportunities to show what he's got. And then they draft Brock Bowers, who, guys, he's an amazing tight end. Let's be honest. And he just overseeded him so quick, and now Michael Mayer's just there at filling up a spot. And I think the Raiders could get a decent draft pick for him. Maybe a 3rd round pick for Michael Mayer. Maybe even more, depending on what he's worth, they think he's worth. But Michael Mayer, I think, would be the perfect fit in this offensive scheme. Can block, can catch, could be a great complement to Garrett Wilson. And as we know, Justin Fields loves throwing to tight ends. Michael Mayer is a red zone matchup nightmare as well. And I think Justin Fields would love having him. So, guys, let me know what you think of these 3 tight ends. Which one would you want to trade for? Which one would you want to stay completely away from? Would you want to just focus on the draft and leave these guys, have them go somewhere else? Let me know what you guys think. And again, guys, I'm going live round 1 of the draft. If it goes really well, I might go live for day 2 of the draft as well, and maybe day 3 all day. So let me know what you guys think. And again, thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and have a great rest of your day tomorrow.